Hello, this is Julie Musial with Musial Marketing. Today, I'm fortunate enough to welcome back Julie Parentu from Global Perceptions in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Julie, are you there?
I am.
Awesome. Welcome back. For those of you that may not have seen the last recording, we did a live webinar with Julie and critiqued her website and did just briefly her social media, but we really ran out of time. So I wanted to bring Julie back to really go into her social media further, because not only is Julie going to learn a lot, but I know that my followers are going to learn a lot as well. But so to refresh everyone's memory, tell me again about your business, Julie. What do you do?
Well, I am located in San Juan, Puerto Rico, where I offer a variety of communication-related services, a variety of workshops and seminars that all have to do with intercultural communication for different corporations, universities, the like. I offer relocation services, both for people moving to Puerto Rico and those who are leaving Puerto Rico to, have a different style of life in another country. And I also then offer language services, language tutoring mostly for both English and Spanish speakers.
Awesome. And what we talked about on our last webinar was that you really have 3 different demographics that you're targeting. You want to refresh our memories on that?
Sure. I work with, I would say, several different demographics. Yes, local people, Puerto Ricans who are usually professionals or have a minimum of college education. They are looking for better opportunities. They want to improve their English skills, for example, so they take language classes with me. Or they're looking to move abroad and therefore they contract me for relocation services. I work with people who are moving here. Many of them are in the expat community. They're executives who are brought in for 2 or 3 years to work on a project. They bring their families with them. They are typically highly educated, mostly males still, although there are some females. I work with their spouses. I work with their children to be able to provide a full range of cultural orientation and personal experiences to help them through the culture shock and all of the nuances that come with living in a new culture. And then I also work at the corporate level. I offer English or Spanish classes to corporations. I offer relocation services. I offer them as well to communication workshops and seminars.
Awesome. And what we had talked about is you really have 3 different target demographics that you're looking at. And that's 3. I don't know if that's necessarily that common. 2 is very common. And on our last webinar, I shared that, for example, if you're a college, your dual demographic could be the high school juniors and seniors, but then also the parents. And the reason that's significant is when you have double and triple demographics that you're targeting, you really have to know the different social media platforms, and you have to know your marketing strategy, because different things work with different people. For example, if you're targeting a junior in high school, you may be wanting to look at Snapchat, whereas if you're looking at a mom, you're going to be looking at Facebook. And if you're looking at a professional mom or a professional dad, you're going to be looking at LinkedIn. You're going to be looking at, if it's a male, you're going to be looking more at Twitter. If you're looking at younger males, kind of on the geeky side, and I don't mean that in a bad way, you're going to be looking at Google+. So you want to narrow down who is your target demographic, and when you craft a marketing status update on social media or on your website, you really want to think about who are you targeting. Make sure that the pictures that you use are attractive to that generation. For example, if you're targeting a younger demographic, you don't want to use a song from the 80s that they're not going to recognize, because they're not going to think that's cool. Whereas if you're targeting a 40 or 50-year-old parent, or even 35, that would be just fine. So you really want to think about the pictures you're using, the music you're using, And with those dual demographics, make sure you change your message for each different target that you're working on. So right now we are at Global Perception's website. And just one thing that I want to say briefly in case you didn't catch the last webinar is on your website, you want to make sure that you have share and follow icons. And as you can see up here in the right hand corner, Julie has her share buttons, Facebook, Twitter, and Google+, and she also has them on the left. And it's not a bad idea to have them in two different places because you want to make sure people see them. If you're ever in doubt as to whether someone's going to see something or not, it's better to put it on there twice than not at all. Just don't clutter up your site. So what I'm going to go into now is we're going to look at the different social media platforms, and I'm going to critique these platforms, and I might jump around a little bit, but the first one we're going to look at is Facebook. Facebook, now as I talked about different social media platforms, there are different nuances for each platform. So for example, on Facebook, on your personal site, that's more for the recipes and the cat pictures and the dog pictures and that kind of thing. This is a business page that we're looking at right now, so you really want to have a photo that's going to be representative of something you do in your business. You want it to say in about 5 to 10 seconds what you do. And you can now, Facebook changed the rules and regulations last year sometime. Before that, you could not have any type of a promotion at all in your timeline photo. You now can, but the words cannot take up more than 20% of your photo. So that's a really big change. And what a lot of people do, and I'll show you, I'm going to just jump over to my site really quick. This is my page. So what you can see here, what I've done in this right-hand corner is claim your free gift and be entered to win a free month of membership. Now, that would not have been allowed before they changed, and a lot of people don't realize that they've changed, that Facebook allows this now. So if you were to click on here, you'd go to a landing page where you could get this free gift. So a lot of people should really change their timeline photo. And there's, depending on the business you're in, if you use Fiverr.com, Fiverr.com, change your picture often. Give away things of free value. Talk about, I have a client who is she does cosmetics. And what she does on her timeline photo is she has a different picture, festive picture of a different piece of makeup or lotion or foundation or something every single month. So she changes it up and she runs promotions and contests, and that works really well. And if you don't have products, you want to feature your services. And you can do that using actual pictures. For example, in your case in Global Perceptions, if you're working with a client, have someone shoot some photos of you and your client, and just make sure you might want to get a written document which says that it's okay to use them online in your social media, kind of a waiver, and then use those pictures to show what you're doing. You also, when we look into Facebook, I would say that for the typical client, you don't want to post more than twice a day. Twice a day for Facebook is really good. And the type of things, what I do is I have about 12 different strategies that I use. And for my members, you can find those in my membership site. If you're not a member, you can find that on my website. But what I do is when Julie had asked me, so what's a good weekly strategy? What I do is I take my 12 strategies. For example, I have services that I do for people. Julie has services that she does for people. So what I might do is I might go to her website and I might go to her services page and I might scroll down and I might click on a link, or either that or I would up here with the URL, I'd copy the URL And by doing that, if I was on Facebook and I wanted to make a post and link it to that page, I would talk about something on this page, something catchy that's going to draw people in, and then I would link it to this page. And when you do that, a picture is going to pop up. Say, for example, down here like you have here, a picture is going to pop up, and you can leave that picture or you can X out of it. And what I mean by that is I will show you an actual, let me take, I'm going to actually take, I'll demonstrate this. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to go to my Facebook. Whoops. So I'm going to go in here and I'm just going to right click and I'm going to paste that. And up pops the thumbnail. Now if I don't want the thumbnail, I'm going to X out right here. And the other thing is when I hover over the verbiage, if you delete that verbiage, you can put any verbiage in there that you want. You can also, these little arrows down here, if there was more pictures, right now only one picture is coming up, but if there were more, you could click through these arrows and the picture would change. Now you can click here for no thumbnail, which will take the picture off and just leave the words, or you can click on this X and take everything off. So what I quite often do, and pictures are really hot now. You want to draw people in with your pictures. Less words, more pictures. A picture says 1,000 words. So what I might do is I've already put the link and I might backspace on this and I might start typing something. I know that doesn't say anything, but I might start typing that and then I would post it. And if you want to time your posts, I suggest automating. What I suggest is using either Hootsuite or Buffer. I love both of those programs. I like them for different reasons. Buffer is very easy to schedule your posts from anywhere. Let's say, for example, if I went to post something right now, let's say I was at, let me demonstrate this. I'm going to go into my Musial Marketing Home. And let's say I want to share this right here. So I'm going to click on share because I have this connected to Buffer. This one didn't come up and I don't know. If I click share this photo, Buffer is going to pop up. And the cool thing about that is when Buffer pops up, I have Buffer timed so that I post so many posts on Facebook, so many on LinkedIn, so many on Google Plus on my Google Plus page, and so many on LinkedIn. And what Buffer does is they will strategically place in the slots where the next opening is. And that really makes it easy. Now for Hootsuite, if I jump over here, I'm going to jump over to Hootsuite right now. This is my Hootsuite account, and in the membership site, I have a tutorial on how to set this up. But the reason I like Hootsuite is up here is where you put your message. So I would click right there, and I would type my message, and I could put my link in here, and I could shrink it. Over here, I can pick my different social media platforms that I want it to post to. And the reason I recommend using automation is because social media is highly addictive. The internet is highly addictive. And when you jump onto the internet and social media too often, as you know, because you're human, you can get sucked in. And before you know it, another hour is gone because you clicked on a couple things that looked interesting and you lost an hour or two. So what I do usually on Sunday night or Monday morning is I'll take an hour and I will plan my social media out for the week. And I take my strategies and I just run through my strategies and I mix it up. But so that's enough about that right now. Let me go back to, I'm going to go back to your site. If I can just click back, maybe I can't. All right, we'll go back into Facebook. Do you have any questions right now, Julie?
I'm just following along here.
Okay.
I'm excited to hear what you have to say.
I'm going to go back into your Facebook. Okay, so you definitely want to use your apps. I can see that you don't have any apps on here. Your photo is always the last photo that you've posted. You can hide your likes if you want. Events are great. I use events quite often. But if you want to, I'll jump over to mine again. I've got 7 different apps, and here's my photos. These are my YouTube. These are really easy to connect. Now, if you struggle with technology, as most people do, you can go to, say, elance.com, elance.com, or odesk.com, odesk.com, and you can hire people very, very inexpensively to help you with things like this. So, for example, if you wanted to put together, if you couldn't figure out, the other thing too is Google, when you don't know how to do something, Google it. So if you wanted to learn how to put this YouTube video on your timeline, I would Google how to put my YouTube videos on my Facebook page. And up's going to pop exactly how to do it. If you don't want to do that, then
I think, Julie, I would actually go directly to YouTube and look for a video on how to do it.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's another great way. And so that would be my YouTubes. Now I've got register for my free tip Tuesdays. I've got a free gift here. And when you click on these, you go to a landing page. So I've had someone else hook those up for me. Invite your friends, my events, my likes. If you want my free report, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. So you want to get some apps on your page. And down here, I'm going to go back to, I think I'm just going to stay on my page for now. One of the things you want to make sure you do is in your About section, what you can see is that the first thing in my About section is my website. And the reason that's there, and everyone should do that, when you click on your About section, you just click on Edit. And the first thing you want to do is put your website address, and you want to make sure you use the HTTP, and that will become a link. And then it's about, so I think you get about 120 characters here that you can see. Make sure you use your keywords and make sure you say exactly what you do. You know, for example, mine is, I am a social media coach, strategist, and speaker. I'm author to the book, Advertising Evolution. It tells you exactly what I do. So make sure that's valuable real estate. Now, on your posts, just running through these, for example, this is a video. This happens to be the video that Julie and I created yesterday, except that she's not on it because we had an April Fool's joke played on my system and we didn't get any sound. But this is a video. And so what I will do is I will put my video on there. And then you want to make sure that you have hashtags. And your hashtags should be your keywords. What are your top 5 keywords? Very, very important. You want to study those. And you want to use them all the time because that's how people will search for you. So, for example, in this search bar, if I typed in there social media trainer, social media trainers are going to come up. If I wanted to find groups, one of the things people ask me is, how do I get more people to follow me? Groups are a great thing you want to join. So if you want to join groups in Facebook, go up here and just type in groups for whatever it is you're looking for, and the groups will pop up. So let's try that. I'm going to say groups on relocation. It probably won't be anything, but who knows? We'll try it. Beltman Group relocation. So it pardon me?
That's a specific company.
Yes, it was a specific company and not groups. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my personal account, and now I'm going to look for groups on social media. And that gave me a specific business too. One of the things you need to know is that they change this stuff all the time. Groups my friends are in, my groups, Groupon, my groups, find all pages, named group. So you just kind of go through this. My groups my friends are in. Another thing you can use graph search for is you can find people that are connected with your competitors. So for example, if you wanted to know people who are friends, well, we could say live in Green Bay, Wisconsin, people who are, let's see, people who live in, let's see if I can spell this right, San Juan. Do I need the comma? Well, I can just hit enter. Oh, look who pops up. This is who we're talking to, Julie Parentu. That's awesome. So these are all people that live in San Juan, Puerto Rico. But graph search is amazing on what you can find. You can find people in places. I could find people who are connected to my competitors just by wording it differently. Graph search is a wealth of information. So search for people in graph search and search for groups in graph search. And when you find groups, join them and then join in the conversation. That's how you get people to follow you in Facebook. So let's move on. I'm going to go into Twitter. So this is Julie's Twitter account, and I like how she's got the background of the world. I might actually, because it's black and your box here is black, I would suggest making your countries maybe some more colors that pop instead of just the black. That would just be one suggestion that I would give there. One of the things, let's see if you have any lists.
I don't yet.
Okay.
Because I've been trying to figure out how to do it.
I'm going to jump over to my account. Well, I won't jump over it because it'll take too long, but I'll tell you, when well, maybe I will. Let me see if I can get into mine here. Let's go to me. All right, so if I look at, here's my lists. And up they pop on the right-hand side. These are all of my lists. So I've got speakers, I have PLF, which is a group I belong to, family members, Platts, talks. I've got small business owners. I have business strategies, salespeople, people that are big in digital media, clients. Now you see these little locks? That means someone from the outside cannot look at my groups. If there's not a lock here, like the inspiration, these are inspirational people. People like Jim Rowe might be in there. Very inspirational people, Mary Morrissey. And if you went into that group, you'd see who I had in there. And you can do that. You can do that with your competitors. You can look up your competitors. You can find their groups. And you can look at who's following them and who's following you. Now, if you look at one of your competitors and you want to find out who they're following. So let's say, for example, these are the people that I'm following. Okay, these are all the people that I'm following. Well, let's say I go look at, let me look someone else up. Let's say, I'm going to look up Jim Rohn. Okay, there he is right there. So I'm going to look up Jim, and I'm going to look at his followers. So up here in the left-hand corner, I'm going to click on followers. And the reason, these are all the people that are followers of Jim Rohn. So if this was a competitor of mine, I might want to start clicking on these, because if I clicked on this follow, I'd be following this person. Now that's the followers. So let's say I want to find out who he's following. And this is who he's following. So maybe I want to start following these people. So if there's a competitor of yours, that's a great way to find people that you want to connect with. Because as you very well know, people change services all the time. Plus, people don't only use just one service. So that's a great place to go out and look for people to follow on Twitter. And then yesterday, and I think this has merit, I'm going to, let's see, I don't think I can get there from this computer. There is I did it in yesterday's webinar. One second, I'm going to turn on my other computer just so that I can bring this up. The Twitter search. I want to show you the Twitter search. Julie, did you have any questions this far?
I just wanted to say that I think talking about how to keep tabs on your competitors is really a great tip. That's very valuable information that I hadn't thought too much about yet in terms of Twitter, but that helps a lot.
And one of the things that I tell people is that successful people are successful for a reason. And why reinvent the wheel if they already know how to do something? So you want to study successful people. And I'm going to go in on my other computer. I just brought up this URL, so I'm going to bring it into this computer so that you can see how to search. So the web address that I just put in there was twitter.com/search-advanced. And you can search for different conversations of people that need your services. So I might type in here social media. Oops. Actually, I think what I'm going to type in there is I need social media help. Now that's all of these words. That's a lot of words. You can also do an exact phrase. So when this comes up, it's not going to be the exact phrase. It could be social media, it could be help. So I'm going to get a whole bunch of different things. But if I wanted the exact phrase, I could come in here, or any one of these words here, or none of these words, these hashtags. Maybe, here, I tell you what, let's do something else. I'm going to put in the hashtag relocation. And you can change your language, people from these accounts to these accounts, mentioning in these accounts, near a place, a date, etc. So now what we have in there is a hashtag. And let's see what we get. What's coming up is, for example, this one here, finding a new place to call home. So they have the hashtag relocation. So that's not necessarily what I want. I'm going to put in here relocation and see what I get. So let's see, empty cargo ship for travel and relocation. True Enterprise phone. What you have to do is you have to read through, you have to figure out what people are saying on Twitter that is relevant to what you do. A lot of it's not going to be relevant, but what you're after is you want to find people that are talking about things that are relative to your business.
Julie, if I could ask real quickly, why are so many of them coming up with revocation instead of relocation?
Maybe I typed it wrong. Let's take a look.
No, you typed it correctly.
Did I?
Yeah. So I'm just curious, if we're typing in there for all of these words or even this exact phrase, why would so many things about other people come up?
Oh yeah, I see revocation. Here's relocation, revocation, relocation. Your expat child. This is also a way that you can find your competitors. So you want to play with that, but that is a great way. Like for example, how about relocating to San Juan? Let's see what I get for that. Hello, I'm relocating from San Juan, Puerto Rico to Washington. I might have stumbled on something here, Julie. Olympus Training will be relocating from Sycamore Trails in San Juan to, so this is something, you know, there's, and then view all tweets. If I click on there, a lot more tweets will come up. So you want to play with that. That's a great way to search Twitter. And I'm going to go back just to see if there was anything else that I wanted to share with you. Make sure on all of your social media platforms, make sure that your profile is done 100%. It is the one thing that I see that people do not do. They rush through it. You want to make sure that it's done correctly. And if you struggle with your visuals, have someone else do it for you. Just go to Fiverr.com or Elance or Odesk. But make sure that this real estate is filled out completely on all of your different platforms. So let's see here. Following followers. What this is just the last photos and things that you brought up. You always want to use hashtags. As you noticed when we were doing the search, because I put in that hashtag or I even just put the word in of relocation, that's the conversations that popped up. And that's how people search, is they put in different words. So as you'll see here, this one right here, I just did this post an hour ago and I put pound social media. Here I put pound social media trainer. Here I put pound strategy, video, strategy, social media trainer. So you always want to make sure, use a cheat sheet. The other things that the different strategies that I would use, for example, on my website or on Julie's, she has different services. So on her services, one of the things you want to sprinkle in throughout the week is the different services that you do. And another thing that I find people, when they're doing social media, they say, well, I've already said that. That's okay, especially on Twitter. On Twitter, it's okay to post once an hour. You know, I don't post once an hour. I might post at the most 4 times a day, but I know people that'll post 10, 15 times a day. And on Twitter, it's okay to do that because if you're connected to a lot of people, because it's a continuous rolling feed. So people assume that people didn't see your post. And it's okay to post things more than once. So let's say you've got a service that you want to post on Twitter. You could post that one time every day. And if you're international like you are, Julie, you could post the same post at 8 o'clock in the morning that you post at 1 o'clock in the morning, because you're going to have people on different time zones. So don't just think about your own time zone. You want to think about other people's time zones. And that goes for all of your different platforms. Now, the other thing you want to think about is posting other people's stuff. The reason I like automation like Buffer and Hootsuite is because as I'm on the internet, if I find a great blog post from someone that is in my field, I will share that with my audience. A lot of people think, well, that's really counterintuitive. You don't want to post anything from anyone in your industry, but you need to think about, you want to be of value to your clientele. So, and also there's reciprocity. If you start sharing someone's blog posts or something that they have on their website, they're going to see it and they're probably going to reciprocate. So you want to post other people's stuff. So I might do that 3 times a week. That might be my second strategy. My third strategy might be a motivational quote. So for example, if I go to Facebook and I'm going to go to my business page, let me find a motivational quote. I do them sporadically. Right here, this is one. We become what we focus on, think big, and then I've got pound goals, pound strategy, pound dreams, and then this cute little picture. So you want to do motivational quotes, and what you want to do is you want to take your, take your smartphone and take a lot of pictures. Take pictures of everything you do. Take pictures of your services. Take pictures of you doing, if you're doing services with people, have your picture taken with people. Take your clients' pictures. Take pictures of anything you can think of, and then go to PicMonkey, and you could put a motivational quote on it. Or go to PicMonkey and put your website address on it. But you want to brand it somehow with your business. Your logo would be great. Brand it with your business so that if people share your photo, you're on that particular photo. The other thing you want to do is your blog posts. You want to take the URL link. For example, let me find one here. I believe this is one right here. This is a blog post that I had posted on March 25th. And what I typically will do with a blog post is I'll take out a sentence from my blog post, and then I'll put the URL in there. This one came from Hootsuite, I can tell because it's got Owly. I'll put a hashtag, and up will pop the picture. Now, if you want to boost this post, you just hover over boost. I'm not going to, but the more you pay, the more people that will see it. Because one thing you need to know on Facebook is that only about 4 to 6% on average will see your posts. However, what Facebook does is the more someone engages with you, the more often they're going to see your posts. So you want to get people engaged.
So if I could just add an example from yesterday, I posted a flyer about the activity that I'm doing next week and chose to boost it purposely so that I get more people to attend. And I have over 3,500 views, in less than 24 hours.
That's awesome.
That has worked quite effectively for me.
That's awesome. So you can boost a post, or you can do Facebook ads. And with Facebook ads, they just changed their platform. You want to go into the Power Editor. The first or second time you do it, it can be a little bit challenging, but you just want to work through it. You can look at their help screens. If you want, go to Musial Marketing YouTube. I have a tutorial on how to do Power Editor. If you're a member of mine, I have a video on how to do Power Editor. But what Power Editor does is, rather than being in the right-hand side, for example, if I went to my home here, rather than being in the right-hand side here, well, they must have changed this. They don't even have any ads here. But let me find a sponsored ad.
You can leave it right there. You can leave it right there with On Wisconsin on the big page right there.
And you're an animal lover, right?
Yes, I am.
I am too. My dog's sleeping behind me. He's snoring. Let me find. Oh, gotta love them. I'm trying to find a sponsored ad. If it's an ad, it'll say sponsored, and I'm not finding any yet. Usually it's about 1 in 10. I started counting one day. The sponsored ads were about 1 in 10. And you can see here that Facebook just changed the home feed, how it looks. So that was my post that I did. I'm not finding any right now, but it'll say sponsored unless they change that. So enough about Facebook. I'm going to jump over here. Did you have any more questions on Facebook, Julie, or Twitter?
No, I think the only thing that I was thinking maybe to add was that you can help each other with this too and collaborate. And for example, if a friend of mine is an editor and I have a question about something related to writing, I can specifically put it out there and let her know that it's there, and we can, initiate a conversation as well, so that she doesn't necessarily have to to put a tweet or a post or whatever, but that we engage it from my end so that it looks like there's more of a conversation as well. So if you're stuck trying to think of something to write, maybe ask a friend to write a question or put something out there that you can engage in as a conversation and collaborate with people.
That's a great idea. That is definitely a great idea. Google Plus, just quickly, this is my personal page. Google Plus, as I said on our last webinar, you want to have a presence on Google Plus, regardless of whether you're targeting male, young male, geeky types or not. You want a presence there because Google likes its own, it ranks higher its own social media platform, which is Google Plus and YouTube. So you want to have a presence there. You want to connect your YouTube account. You want to connect your website, and you want to make sure that you get authorship. And when you post your blog to Google Plus, Google instantly ranks it, versus if you're not connected that way, it can take months. So you definitely want a platform. And you definitely want your About section to be all filled out. And as I said yesterday, it takes about the first 160 characters here in your description online in the Google searches. Down here, you want to have all your links filled out, your other profiles, your social media platforms. Make sure, especially on Google+, but all of them, that you have everything filled out. YouTube videos, you should do 2 to 3 minute videos. I was talking to somebody a couple weeks ago, and he said, well, I'm going to do a short video, maybe 7 to 10 minutes. And I said, no, that's really a long video. When you do videos, you really want them to be 2 to 3 minutes max, because think about your own schedule. We're busy people. So if you do YouTube, do YouTube videos, and I know we're not going to get to that real heavily today. I have in the membership center how to do YouTube videos, and I also have on my YouTube, I have a video on how to do YouTube videos, what equipment you should buy, and it's not that expensive. And I know the first time people do videos, because it happened to myself, you're very self-conscious that you don't think it's going to look good. And your first one, by all rights, probably doesn't. But the more you do, the easier it'll get and the better you will get at it. You can put a small little corner in your office or in your house so that you don't have to set it up all the time. Make sure that your lighting is good, and just do a quick 2 to 3 minute video, and you're gonna get good at it. And you're gonna want to post that, upload it to YouTube, put it on your website, put it in your blog, put it on all your social media platforms. The more you cross promote, the more eyeballs you're going to get, the more value you're giving to your clients. So YouTube is really, really important. A, it's owned by Google, but B, videos are really, really hot. You can say so much more in a video, and you can get emotion. Emotion sells products. People buy things based on emotion. I had a boss one time, he said, you got to see the people. And the reason you need to see the people is because you want to develop that relationship. It's hard to develop a relationship online, and using videos, it makes it much easier to be able to get emotion without seeing someone. People will start subscribing to you. The more you can cross-pollinate and get that emotion, people buy things based on emotion, and they back it up with logic. So we don't have time to go into YouTube today, because I know we're getting really long. I think we'll do another video where we'll do YouTube. We'll go more into LinkedIn. And I probably should stop here, because Julie probably has a meeting coming up shortly, and this video is getting long. So before I go, Julie, did you have any further questions?
I think that I have a lot of work to do ahead of me here to get things in tip-top shape. And the more questions that I have as I go along, I will be reaching out to you, Julie.
Sounds great, and thank you so much for coming on with me twice.
Thank you for having me. I've really appreciated this, and I hope that your followers can learn a lot from it as well.
Thank you. Have a great day. If any of my listeners would like to be a guest on one of my live webinars and have your website and your social media critiqued, please contact me at julie@musealmarketing.com, which is the address located on your screen. Thanks so much. Have a great day.